following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
And it is a Wednesday here at the Star in Frisco inside the SWBC Mortgage Studios. This is Talkin Cowboys as it is time to get set for those Green Bay Packers coming to AT&T Stadium on Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Cowboys hit the practice field as is the norm on a Wednesday. They are set up outside for an outdoor practice in what figures to be hopefully, this is the last outdoor practice over 90 degrees. What do you think, meteorologist Mickey?
I didn't think you're probably wrong.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I have no hope for us.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I heard that drop on this show.
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just got done with the Jason Garrett press conference and some news coming out of that press conference as we get things kicked off here. Brian, are you ready to play in that offensive line?
I'll tell you what, you don't want me playing in that offensive line. That would be too pretty right now. But no, they've got some things they're going to have to work through with practice today. We all understand that Cam Fleming is going to go for Tyron Smith. We kind of had that one down. We didn't expect, though, the Lyle Collins one, I don't think. We didn't see that back element coming in on that one.
Cropped up, I guess, after the game. So looks like in practice today you're going to have three new guys at least in different spots on that first team line. So you're looking at Connor Williams playing some tackle today, right tackle.
Kind of felt like Connor Williams was going to play tackle anyway. If Lyle Collins had practiced, I have a feeling they were going to maybe work him at that one of the tackle spots just to kind of get that swing tackle practice. Haven't seen him practice with the offensive line with the tackles and since OTAs and stuff like that. So this will be. But he was a starter at the University of Texas at left tackle. I mean, when you evaluated him, you could value him as a tackle, a guard, a center. I mean, I saw the New Orleans Saints work him out as a center, thinking that. And so, guy's got he's made a lot of starts at high level of college football, and if he had to play, I'm sure he could play for you pretty well.
I saw Dak walking out to practice in body armor.
You're not liking this at all?
You're concerned about this, Mick?
Well, let's take it one step further. Cam Fleming has to start at left tackle. Connor Williams has to start at right tackle. And one of your tackles get hurt.
Yeah.
Zach Martin, get ready.
Yes.
Because, like Brian mentioned, he's a guy that played a lot of tackle in college.
You need another guard.
Brandon Knight can play both spots.
He can play both spots.
Brandon Knight hadn't been active.
Like I said, body armor.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of teams with the worst offensive lines in the National Football League playing right now.
Well, they feel like they got some depth there, but it's going to be tested potentially. At least it's looking more likely, according to Jerry, that no Tyron, at least for this game.
Sure.
We'll see. Maybe Collins gets this day and he can work in as the week goes on. But, man, that's, you're going up against a pretty good front this week in Green Bay. And you didn't have a good showing controlling the line of scrimmage last week. You got to do a better job of that this week for sure. So we'll see. Body armor is a little strong, but, you're right. There's something they got to work through.
And some positive news, though, at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, Michael Gallup went out there and proved to Britt Brown and to Sanjay Lyle that he can actually practice today, and so he'll go out there and give it a go. They call it limited. I'll be interested to see how limited he really is. But, I think if he makes it through this week okay, then you're going to see him playing in a football game this week.
I think if he's limited, it's because they want him limited.
Yeah.
They don't want to overdo it after having surgery and being out for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
But I got a feeling he's ready to go.
I think Mickey's right. He's going to play.
And it's kind of on the same timetable that we expected. It was a scope on his knee, and so that's 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, he went on the short side of that, though.
Yeah.
And that's a credit to him, too, that he can get out there and – again, we've talked about this. It's the willingness to want to rehab and to get back out on the field, and that's what he was able to do. So, good for him. It's good if they can get him back there and get him involved. The Packers, and talked to some folks up in Green Bay last night. They're struggling with some injuries at their corner. It looks like King. Kevin King has got a growing injury and will probably not practice. He'll be on the injury report all week, and he might not even play.
What was that injury?
Growing.
Okay.
He's got some growing pains.
Yeah, did I say it right? I didn't. Probably not. I was like going off I was going off your reads is what I was doing.
There
I was
it
just
is.
trying to.
See, there it is. Vicky's been waiting all season for a
somebody else.
It's been a while since we had a growing injury.
Yeah, I had a growing injury, but no, they're in a little bit of a bind right there at cornerback spot because they do. Jari Alexander is really good player. But the other corners are, King's done a pretty good job. But if he can't play, then they're in some trouble there right now with their corner situation.
They're in a bind at wide receiver too.
They are, and
we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
Devontae Adams is not going to play this game.
He's out.
He's not going to play.
Toe.
Yeah, he's not going to play.
And he had a great game the other day.
Sure did.
10 catches, 180 yards?
Mm-hmm.
It's encouraging when you play Philadelphia. You can throw the ball like that, and then they bring Skandrick in there, so you feel even better about that. But the thing about it is that with Adams out of there, it's going to be about Geronimo Allison and also
Valdez
Scantling. Yeah, Scantling.
Too many words.
But those but it's the quarterback too. You're gonna have to deal with this guy. That's such a pain in them. To have to deal with that guy.
He'll still get the ball to different guys, but man, you go back and you watch the
Jimmy Graham will catch a few. Get ready for that.
You even watch the first drive against Philadelphia, and the first 3 balls go to Adams, and he's lining up in all different spots. He's outside, he's in the slot. They run a jet sweep with him. He's their guy. So and the running game hasn't gotten on track either. So. Things to work through. But nobody feels sorry for you in this league because everybody's got something.
No question.
And
they also got another problem, I noticed.
What you got, Nick?
So their other inside linebacker.
You going to tell us how their running game gives up a lot of yards?
Golly.
Don't say it, Mickey. You jinxed them last week.
So they're without their
They're not going to run the ball.
Their other inside linebacker, Oren Burks, has been out with a pec.
Yeah.
And when they go to their nickel when Philadelphia went 3 wide, their other kind of linebacker was a safety.
Yeah.
Adrian Amos.
Mm-hmm. They'll play Will Redmond there too, number 25.
Yeah, well, mostly, So they
don't like to put
DBs
Amos in coverage.
there. So they got Martinez as a single linebacker in the middle of the field.
Good player,
but they got exposed with the way they played their nickel defense.
Yeah, that's the way they play it, though. I
don't know how they stop the run doing that.
Well, they don't, but let's not talk about that because every time we talk about somebody that can't defend the run, they look like the 85 Bears playing the run.
Because what did Philadelphia ended up with? I want to say 176.
Let me tell you how they
yards rushing.
You know how they did it though? That Philadelphia did a great job. They did. Now I don't think the Cowboys are capable of doing this with their tight ends, but the Dallas Goedert and those guys, the way they trapped. They trapped the ends. So what they did was they down blocked, pulled guys, and then trapped with their H or their tight end, and they hit the Packers on. I mean, the Packers had no answer for that scheme right there, none. So it was a nice job. Sanders, those guys, they ran the ball with some toughness in that game, but a lot of down blocks, a lot of pulling. They were just trying to they make the Packers kind of take them where they wanted to go and then run the ball where they had vacated, where they were able to push guys past the linebackers, the down linemen, and that. Philadelphia did a really good job with the way the scheme was set up. But I don't see the Cowboys whamming, with their tight ends or trapping with their tight ends with that much success like the Eagles had.
Yeah, but if Cam Fleming's at left tackle, you're going to see the tight end over there helping out.
No question,
he's
going to be over there helping. But I'm saying,
but
if
they
you're going to
played so wide.
Yeah,
they played their linebackers so wide on the line of scrimmage. There was gaping holes to start with.
Yeah.
So, and we'll get into it as we go on through the week. Defensively, of course, they had Don Capers calling the shots for years and years. How does this 3-4 look different from past 3-4s as far as putting pressure on the quarterback? Because they've got those 2 outside Smith guys who they picked up in free agency who are outstanding so far this year.
Zadarius Smith is for real, and then
Preston.
We all know Preston from Washington. That's going to be tough, and that's what Mickey's kind of alluding to, that they're going to have to figure figure out how they want to play or how to help Cam Fleming. And, Jason Garrett was describing the type of technique that Cam Fleming uses, and it's kind of all over the place. Footwork, blocking with his back, turning on guys, all that. He's absolutely right about that. So, yeah, I have a feeling that the Packers are going to try to attack him. They're going to see where he's at pass protection-wise and go that route. They'll probably try and attack Connor Williams in this game as well, see if he's up to it. When you look at Kenny Clark as their nose tackle, he's a guy that has quickness and some power to him. So, those are all pressure points for the Cowboys right now as we speak.
All I know is when Cam Fleming started the game against Washington last year in place of Tyron Smith, I think it took the Cowboys almost 4 quarters to throw a ball further than 20 yards in the air or 10 yards in the air.
And that's
everything was little outs, quicks, and when he didn't get help over there, and they did it in different ways, it was 50-50.
Well,
he was good against the run. I'll give him that. He was okay against the run. But, boy, in pass protection, Preston Smith, it was Preston Smith, right, on that side.
Yeah.
And then when they got in 3rd and long, oh, no, we're going to put Kerrigan over on your side and see how you do over there.
I saw you watching that tape back.
Oh.
So that's your concern, too, that they've got to bring somebody in, tight end, somebody to chip.
I bet 75% of the plays the tight end was sitting over there to start, or he was motioning over, or the running back was on that side, and when the running back would go out, he didn't necessarily chip him, but he gave Fleming protection to the outside so he could just guard the inside.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't going to let Chaz Green happen again to him.
Yes, exactly.
There you go. Well, they saw something they liked in him, though, because they gave him a 2-year deal.
I think
to come back.
I think it's like, well, what else is out there?
Exactly.
Well, if we remember, though, they did win the Philadelphia game.
They
won
did.
2 games.
They won a couple of games with him playing in there, and the technique is not pretty. We all understand that. We'll see. Guy made a start in the Super Bowl, which is even more amazing to me.
Right tackle for the
right
Pats?
tackle.
Yeah.
Sure did. Against the
Eagles,
yeah. So it's kind of crazy. You think that you would, he's played against the Eagles a couple times in his career and done okay. But yeah, Mickey's right. I just think you cannot let that side of the field ruin your game plan. If you have to make those rushers go wider by putting a guy over there, at least it gives Dak the opportunity. He knows. He trust me. Dak knows. How about that throw he made in the Giants game with Fleming over there, and then Olivier Vernon comes screaming off the edge, and Dak has to spin and throws the ball to Beasley down the field. He knows what's over there at left tackle. Trust me, he does.
One other note for Green Bay, they're compromised potentially on their offensive line.
Brian
Balaga's got a shoulder, so we'll see what he does, if anything, today. That could affect them and their receiver situation. I mean, Green Bay's dealing with some stuff, too.
Alex Light over there for them, that number 70, if he's over there, you can just if you play fantasy football, put Lawrence on your roster this week if you don't already do it. I guess, I don't know. I'm just saying that. But, to me, because that's going to be a problem. They're going to if Balaga doesn't play, then they're going to have to do something to help on that side over there with Light.
Well, they had trouble on the left side against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Bakhtiari, or however you say it. Bakhtiari?
Yeah, it's like growing injury. It's like
Bakhtiari.
David Bakhtiari.
He didn't look like the same guy in that game.
Well, we'll see.
You can drink a beer on you, though. Drink a beer.
Maybe that was the problem.
And speaking of roster-type stuff and practice squad and so forth, what are you thinking as far as what they do with the Kayvon Frazier spot on the 53?
I bet you that's where we talked about. They're going to bring up. I would not be surprised.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, it's either going to be Jones. It's either going to be Jones off the practice squad. Josh Jones, who they signed today, or it's going to be Bryant. And they love Bryant because when he does scout team stuff, he almost blocks every punt. And he does things. He kind of, when you talk to him, it's like this guy shows up. I mean, I was talking to Keith O'Quinn. He goes, I didn't even know the guy's name. And all of a sudden, he's showing up in these practices. He goes, I learned his name real fast because he's showing up doing things that that naturally, he looks like he's just, it's something he's done all his life. But that's, they need to get something out of these receivers that, they need to get something. They don't get anything out of Wilson, playing special teams other than a secure catch. Mm-hmm. That's all they get from him. So why don't you put somebody out there that can block, somebody that can go after the ball, somebody that can do a little more than what he's done.
So if Ventel shows that he can handle this in practice as a special teamer, then you just use Donovan Wilson in Kayvon's spot on special teams because he was inactive last week, so you make him active this week, which means one of those other wide receivers will be inactive if they bring Ventel to the 53.
So who would that be?
Well, either Cedric Wilson or Tavon, right?
Tavon could be Smith, but they take Smith off the field.
But if Tavon trusts,
it depends on how they feel about Gallup. As far as.
And Mickey's right. Gallup's going to play. Gallup's a warrior. He, 2 weeks. Come on, he's trying to play. He knows how important these games are. He can see who the other corner is for Green Bay. That's all he needs to do, especially if it's not Kevin King.
Just walk Novacek out there and tell him that, I had the same surgery and I made it back for the first round of the playoffs.
It sounds like Gallup's already
he'll be fine.
Already wise to that.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
That's why he was out there yesterday, and he's going to be out there in a matter of seconds. He's probably already out there. We'll check on the practice field, see if there's any news out there, and we'll take your phone calls here on Talking Cowboys in just a moment.
Your new apartment's big. Such a great deal.
It's okay.
Just okay? What's not too...
It's right above the subway!
Well, I bet you don't even notice it after the...
That's my neighbor, Angus!
A deal that's just okay is not okay. Get a great deal with America's Best Network. Come into an AT&T store and learn how to buy one smartphone and get a second one on us. Based on GWS 1 score, September 2018.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay and, of course, with yours truly, me, Brian Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Work the Cowboys way and channel the winning business tradition of the Dallas Cowboys and the Jones family at Formation. This dynamic workspace provides an elevated work experience on the Star's aspirational campus with exclusive membership options available to meet varying needs. Choose from open workspaces, dedicated desks, and private offices to leverage our home field advantage for your individual business success. Limited memberships are available now, so apply today at formation@thestar.com.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Check out free-to-play predictive games in the Dallas Cowboys app to win cash prizes up to a $10,000 grand prize. Fans must be 21 or older. Log in to play. Download the app for access on game days at dallascowboys.com/app. You may notice that Mickey is wearing his Sunday best today. Why do you have green on? It's the Packers week.
Packer week.
You wear the color of the team that
yes,
they're playing?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We got a TV camera in here from CBS 11 and Texas 21. David Hershey is shooting promotional videos for us today. I'll go ahead and make the announcement that for you, those of you who live in the Dallas-Fort Worth, North Texas viewing area, you'll be able to actually watch our Friday broadcast from 8 until 9 o'clock on Friday night on Texas 21. You three used to make regular appearances on what was then known as TXA 21.
We did.
Now you're back on Texas 21 on Friday nights from 8 to 9.
All right. Cheap free labor, Bill. You guys got to appreciate that over there, don't you?
Set my DVR, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. That's the reason why you guys are doing so well nowadays.
So our Friday morning show from 11 until noon will be formatted just a little bit differently, but we will be with you for the entire hour.
Ooh, fans love that.
Yeah.
Extra
It will it'll be an hour instead of 45 minutes.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
And we'll have commercial breaks in the middle of it, but we will probably take phone calls during those commercial breaks.
There you go.
We have to put pictures up of the caller so they know when the caller's
That's
talking.
a good idea. So, I mean, if you want TV time on Texas 21, you want to call in on Friday, and you'll have an opportunity, perhaps.
Send a picture.
As long as it's clean, whatever it is that you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
Joe in Maryland, you're first up on Talking Cowboys on this Wednesday. Hello, Joe.
How you guys doing? A long-time listener. I just had a couple of things. Number one, how come this team doesn't utilize the skill sets of the players that they have? Like, I think that we need to help our running back out some by opening the field up for him. And you got Tavon Austin, and even if the play does not connect down the field, send this guy on a 9 route on first down, and you may get a flag, you may get a connection. But at least you're giving these opposing and coordinators something to take a look at when this guy's in the game. He's just not going to run across the field and run a jet sweep for 3 yards and try to help Zeke out some, instead of, kind of similar to what we were seeing last year, where you're having this guy run the same exact plays into brick walls and, not getting much result.
Joe.
And the second thing, yes, Brian.
Did you go back and watch the game? Did you go back? I'm asking. I'm just asking.
I did not, sir.
Okay, you need to go back and watch and see how many times he ran into a 5- and 6-man box in that game.
Okay.
You're playing cover 2. Okay, that'll tell you right there. They could never get him out of cover 2, is what they did. So if you're playing against cover 2, you're going to get a lot of 5, 6-man boxes. You're going to get a couple of 7-man boxes if they walk a guy late. But I understand what you're saying. But go back and watch the game and watch how many times they played cover 2 in this game. They should have been able to run the ball on these guys. They didn't do a good enough job up front.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's fair.
Second question.
Second is good teams find a way to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Kansas City, nothing was working for them against Detroit.
Sure.
Mahomes wasn't Mahomes, and they still found a way to get it done. Do you guys think this team is good enough? Because we're going to go on a stretch where we're not going to play the Redskins every week, and we're going to have to find ways when things aren't working to get it done. And I will hang up and listen. Thank you guys for all you do. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, go check out that game, Joe. Appreciate you.
We're going to find out a little bit on Sunday against the Packers. They're going to be dealing with adversity at the left tackle position.
Yeah, they sure are. And, to me, it's you played against a team and the Saints that took some things away from you, and you just, at some spots, you just weren't good enough, physical enough to make it work. But, I just don't think the answer is just sending guys vertically down the field, Well, I think the answer is when you have opportunities to make plays, whether it's a pass that we've seen Dak Prescott complete 100 times, or it's a pass across the field on third down, or it's maybe making a tackle at the point of attack, to kind of get you off the field. I think that was more about that than it was anything else. I mean, you could say try and help and do this, but they also say the players, the coaches put the players in positions to make plays. I'm not defending the coaches. I'm just saying better execution would have won that football game, and they didn't have it.
There's a Hall of Fame tight end who's only lost 5 fumbles in his career and loses a fumble, and that derails a drive right there. Yeah. There's a
you go for it on fourth down and one, and everybody's screaming, "Oh my God, don't do this, don't do this!" And then but he goes for it, and I applaud Jason Garrett for doing that.
And he got it.
And
his elbow was down.
Mm-hmm. So,
but anyway. Then there's adversity because you don't always get the calls, even that you.
But I think if
getting.
Joe had watched the first 3 games, there were guys running downfield. Yeah. Remember Devin Smith on a 51-yard post pattern?
Mickey, that was against the Giants, the Redskins, and the Dolphins.
The Giants are 2-2. They're one game behind the Cowboys right now.
Right.
So let's not minimize that now.
That's right. Yep. All right, what's the big concern outside of left tackle as you look at this Packers team?
And right tackle.
And right tackle.
For now.
And then that makes left guard, too, because you're moving your left guard to right tackle. Okay, what's your biggest concern with this Packers team outside of Aaron Rodgers? Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Because we know Aaron Rodgers
it's outside
is a concern.
of Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm sorry, that's where my concern starts and ends.
Right there with Aaron Rodgers.
Right there. We've seen it. We've seen how many games have we seen? You know, like I told the guys this morning, you know, he seems to pull a rabbit out of his head or hat or whatever it's coming out of. And
that was actually Aaron Rodgers' play where Jason had that.
I
think it was Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, there's got to be a question asked of Jason Witten this week.
If you watch the Eagles game, I mean, when he got outside of the pocket, he was throwing darts.
Yeah. That's certainly what he does.
And to me, that hasn't changed. You know, I don't know what offense they're running or anything, but to me, I'd rather him in the pocket throwing the pass that he's supposed to instead of improvising outside, because there ain't nothing wrong with his arm and there's nothing wrong with his accuracy.
They should probably be 4-0, and they're 3-1, and it's the same thing that this offense here had problems with last year, and it's the red zone. They were 3 of 7 in the red zone against the Eagles, and I went back and I charted it, and they had 19 red zone plays. No, 22 red zone plays.
Jeez.
19 passes, 3 runs.
How many inside the 5?
I didn't chart that, but inside the 20.
Well, they had 4.
The last 2 drives, they had 8.
Yeah.
And they had 8 shots down there. Didn't they go 4 and 4? Is what they did?
And Rodgers got picked off late in the game. So how much of that is faith in one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, or they don't think they can run the ball down there?
Yeah. Well, I think you could have ran it once at the 1 yard line.
They did get they got a touchdown run in the game, but they didn't try to run down there. I mean, they looked at their stud quarterback.
Yeah, but he didn't have a stud wide receiver at that time.
Well, throughout the game is what I'm saying.
No, I meant those last 2 possessions when they came down and they didn't score.
This is going to come down to me, their ability to. The Cowboys have got to get back to the things that they were successful in the first 3 weeks of the season. They got to go into attack mode here. They really do. I mean, and then again, I understand what analytics people saying about throwing on first down, but if that's your best way of moving the ball, throw on first down and set up other things. But yeah, it might be difficult with this offensive line if in fact it's as banged up as we think it is. It might be difficult to do that. It might be difficult to do that to run the ball. You know, what's the best thing you can do? Can you throw it or can you run it in these situations if you're compromised in the offensive line? I think they got to go into attack mode here, though. I really do. I think that, to me, take advantage of, if the Packers aren't good in certain spots, take advantage of that. Go after their corners a little bit. Go after. If they're struggling with some certain areas, I mean, go after that. I just felt like that they didn't play attacking football the other day in that game.
I think there's a lot of people that will agree with you.
Yeah,
and they didn't attack certain areas that were weaknesses in the Saints' defense.
I didn't think so, and it plays. Yeah. And again, I was on the show this all last week, and we break this stuff down. We talk about it. And it's like the middle of the field, the safeties, the middle of the field. We talk about that. And what are the big plays they made? The middle of the field. We're just too late to get there on that. And it was just a weird circumstance. I don't know, with the crowd noise, they were nervous about what Dennis Allen was doing. They didn't feel comfortable blocking the front, but they didn't execute well enough. But they need to get back in that attack mode. Because if you don't attack the Packers and score points, you're not going to win. I don't care who that guy on the other side is throwing the ball to, because he will make whoever's playing on the outside good. He will find a way to make those guys good. So you better find ways to get on the board and put pressure on them, in a lot of different ways. And I just feel like, though, that team wasn't the team that we had seen, in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Or if you throw it down the middle of the field, make sure you don't fumble.
Yeah.
There you go.
Huge play. Huge play.
I mean, they're moving the football twice. They're at midfield twice, and they lost the ball. Yeah. It's at least 10 yards, 15 yards from a field goal attempt.
3rd and 2.
And you lost by 2 points.
3rd and 2 to Cobb in the fourth quarter. Play was there to be made. Yeah. There were plays to be made.
Yeah.
They didn't make them.
Brian in Iowa, you're next up on Talkin' Cowboys. Hello, Brian.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Hey, I got a question, mainly for Brian, about Quinn's versatile.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever see this, but with scouting and stuff, do you ever see the impact that he brings, like the other great defensive ends, of just creating space for himself between him and the offensive lineman, just get around the corner? And is it possible you can explain of how you can't teach that? It's just that type of instinct that
that's mom and dad.
Right.
That's what that is.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
But he just does that so much well, just like Charles Haley did, or Reggie White, of getting that space. And I will hang up and listen and thank you.
No problem. Right. Yeah, it's been this guy is always the great. Now Reggie White's a different body type, completely different body type than what you talk about with Haley and Quinn and those guys. The great pass rushers have the ability not to allow the offensive tackles to get their hands on them. That's the first thing. The first thing you want to do as an offensive tackle is stop the momentum of the rusher. All the great ones, when they're going up the field and they're working corners, as long as they feel like that they're not being stopped, they're going to make it to the ball carrier. They're going to make it to the quarterback. So you have to have that ability. You have to have the understanding of how to get rid of hands and how to be able to get your front shoulder past them and around the corner. And not go too far up the field. Stay flat to the quarterback. Make sure you get to the ball. That's a big problem. A lot of these young rushers, they go straight up the field and they get past the quarterback and never able to get back inside to get the play. The veteran guys, the guys have a feel for that. They know how to get rid of the hands, dip the shoulder, run flat, and then get to the quarterback and then attack him when they get there.
Which is all the more important against this guy.
Absolutely. This guy will hold the ball on you a little bit now. I mean, he'll run, don't get me wrong, but he's held the ball a lot more, and it might have to do with his knee. I mean, the collarbone, the knee, stuff like that. His desire to really, really want to run and murder you that way is not as strong as it once was.
I was going to say, you're not seeing that as much this season.
Nope.
It has to do with him being 36.
36 and the
36?
fact, the 36 and the fact that he missed 6, 7, 8 games every year, because of a collarbone, a knee, things like that.
But I hate to say, he ran 5 times for 46 yards against the Eagles.
And he could run far
capable.
more. But
it wasn't to the outside. Yeah. He was, when you lose containment inside, he's going right through the guards are.
If it's 3rd and 9, he will get 10. That's absolutely the way he plays.
He's still got the he's got the shy. Ability. He ain't shy.
And that clarification, he turns 36 on December 2nd. So he's 35 right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait when we come back here on Talking Cowboys. Mickey's got to read, but beyond that, Caden Gates tells me that there is a lady named Becky who wants to talk with Mickey when we come back in just a moment.
Oh, no.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
It's time for Tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup, and now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper Soft Coolers at OtterBox.com.
While a player can look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine a surging river of ice-cold Dr. Pepper, roaring with carbonated mists of desire. You're dangling above it, upside down, like a fishing lure in the wind. 23 flavors tickle your nose, but the river is too far away to taste. Dr. Pepper calls to you. You.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
And this week's special for Jack Black is Turn Back Time Like a Pro. Free age-defying pros with your $75 purchase. Protein Booster Skin Serum. Also, Dry Erase Ultra Calming Face Cream. And if you want to go further than those two, you can get some Power Peel Multi-Acid Resurfacing Pads along with Protein Booster Eye Rescue. Go to getjackblack.com.
Very nicely done.
That was perfect.
You need 23 hours in the day to put all that stuff on.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
But the skin serum is really good.
Okay. Did you use all of that this morning?
I used that. I used the...
Mickey's holding out on product on us, I can tell you.
He is.
Protein Booster Eye Rescue.
Where is it?
We have to
I can tell that.
We have to get to a 45-minute read to get to...
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We've got Becky who wants to talk with Mickey. Hello, Becky.
Hello, Mr. Bell. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Becky.
Hello, Becky.
I'm looking forward to this.
You got a bone to pick with Mick?
I really love everything y'all do. I watch and read everything.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mickey,
Yes.
I've been trying to get to you since Monday.
Uh-oh.
Because it's nothing bad.
Oh, come on, make it bad.
Well, I was going to clap
y'all were
for
hoping
that.
for me to rib Mickey, but no. I always look at the other teams' websites, which are horrid, by the way. Y'all are so exemplar in everything y'all do.
Thank you.
There's just nothing. But Sean Payton had a media time on Friday, and he volunteered. No one asked him. He said, "Oh, by the way, we've had these referees for 12 games. We've won 11."
Oh, yes, I know. Sheffers.
And I'm like, well, gee, they already have an ace in the hole. They got their roots in their pocket.
I should have worn my
by
white hat
gum,
today, right?
Man, that just irritated me to no end to hear that. And then watching the game, I was just like, oh my gosh, I was furious. I mean, Amari Cooper did not push off. I'm sorry. That guy just slipped and waved his arms. And that Collins, Zeke, just, I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
That's all right.
But,
No, you should have heard.
Because you're beside yourself.
We did that for 45 minutes a day.
You should have heard Mickey in the press box Sunday night after the 4-second play. That was 2 seconds.
Oh, I know.
He wasn't a happy camper.
They didn't start the clock when the ball snapped. He was already in throwing motion before they stopped the clock. I taped the game. I watched again.
Thank you.
I tell you, if somebody needs to, I hope Coach Garrett just blasted them when he got his chance after the game. I mean, but what can be done when there's a crew like that that's almost favoring a team when they call their games? Can they break them up or what?
You know what, ma'am? This is going to surprise you. I used to do this for a living to chart referees.
Yes, sir.
But you'll be surprised how many good referees Jason Garrett has. You would be surprised that guys that if we were doing talking Saints or talking Buccaneers or someone would come on and say the same thing about Walt Anderson. Because there's certain officials that Jason Garrett has had that's worked pretty well in his favor too. It's just the league assigning officials, just the way it works out.
Wow.
That's all right, Becky. Be pissed.
Thank you, Mickey. I just been just been on my brain since Friday, and I couldn't get in till now.
All righty. Well, we appreciate you checking in with us.
All right.
Thank you much. I watch every day. Thank you. God bless.
Okay, thanks, Becky. Let's go to Rashad, and he's next up here on Talkin' Cowboys from Jacksonville. Is that Jacksonville, Florida, or Jacksonville, Texas?
No, I'm in Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, Jackson. All right.
Our producer is geography challenged today.
I may not have heard it right either.
Okay.
Hey.
He's young.
I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One of them was the offensive game plan. I didn't quite understand it, and I heard the other caller kind of talk about Tavon Austin. I'm not a big Tavon Austin fan, so not really him specifically I wanted to talk about, but I just felt like they didn't take any shots down the field at all, and they had been pretty successful with that, the first 3 games, and I understand they were playing cover 2 or what have you.
A lot of it. Man-free, too.
Yeah, but, teams play that. It's not like it's a brand-new defense. Teams see that every week. Seems like they should have been able to adjust to that and at least take some shots at least down the middle of the field or something. They just didn't seem very aggressive at all. So I didn't quite understand that. And the other question I had was defensively, how do you think they'll approach the receivers since Adams is not playing? I know if Adams was playing, they would probably have Byron Jones shadow him, but I wanted to see what your thoughts are. Do you think Jones will shadow Scantling, or do you think they'll just play sides, or what do you think they'll do as far as the defensive approach? And that's all I wanted to talk about, and I'll hang up and listen to you guys. Thanks.
All right, Rashad, thank you.
You know how you get teams out of that cover 2? You out-execute them underneath. And the Cowboys didn't execute.
Or you run the ball. Or you
run the football.
Yeah.
One of those 2 teams. You've got to execute them out of that to make them come up and put an extra guy in the box to stop the run.
Yeah.
And then you can take some shots down the field. Otherwise, all you're doing is you're throwing right into what they want you to do.
No question.
And the safeties were, and the other thing that was happening, the corners at times were backing off also.
Playing soft.
So basically, you had to be able to run those slants and execute, and they didn't do it well enough. And so that's how you get teams out of that.
Yep.
You got to execute.
Defensively, they're going to play sides.
They always do,
They
right?
always do. That's their MO. Now, if they get in a third down package where they, and like we saw a little bit last week, they got in a third down. The one play that Michael Thomas made, they put Byron Jones on him in the slot and had him run with him. And they ran him through trash. It was a great play. It was the play that basically that the Cowboys ran to Cobb without Cobb making the catch.
Moving right to left.
Yeah.
It was a great
play.
So,
they're gonna play sides, and unless they feel like that they need to. Now, I'll tell you what, with these receivers for the Packers, though, these guys are long. You talk about some high-point receivers here. So, Awuzie, Jones, I don't so much worry about Jones because I think he's got the leaping ability, but Awuzie's had some problems with guys. Let's go back to the Dolphin game where he had problems in that game with Parker and the elevation that he had. So keep an eye on that as we work through this week.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Geronimo Allison. They got Alan Lazard on their team, too.
They sure do.
Allison 6'3", Valdez-Scantling is 6'4".
Yeah. And Lazard's about 6'8". No, 6'5", something like that.
They got some big guys, no question.
Jimmy Graham can still be a red zone
threat. 6'5".
I think he's got 9 catches, but a couple touchdowns. He can still, make plays down
7.
there. Yeah.
All right, that does it for
they
this
playing basketball
edition
or what?
of Talking Cowboys. Jimmy Graham did. He became a pretty good football player.
Sure
though,
did.
Miami. All right, we talk at you again tomorrow here on Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?